whole lot more. Your calls and prize giveaways. Join us this Saturday, every Saturday morning for the home team, 9 to 11 on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
When the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady. I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the home team on the TAN Talk Radio Network. The home team is brought to you in part by Iceman Development, LLC, a pioneer in ice rink development. By the Palm Pavilion, 10 Bay Esplanade on Clearwater Beach. By the Original Mattress Factory, with 3 Tampa Bay locations. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you very much, and welcome to 2025. Happy New Year, everyone. Our first show of 2025. And also, congratulations to my partner, Jason Alessi. He didn't even realize it this morning when I came in and said happy anniversary, but it's his anniversary as being a member of the home team. So we're not going to say what year he joined because today is kind of a trivia day today. Mm-hmm. We've got several trivia questions we're going to throw out there, and that is the very first one. What year did Jason Alessi join the home team? And if you get it right, guess what you're going to receive? A $20 in gift certificates to Alessi Bakery.
Ah, very nice.
Fitting, I think.
I think so,
If you get the trivia question with Alessi, Jason Alessi, you get Alessi Bakery. So that is, you can answer either by calling in, 727-441-3000, or you can put your answer on Facebook Live, the home team with Paul Porter, and tell us what year Jason Alessi joined the home team. Now, John has already tried to answer. Mm-hmm. He said 2008. Is that correct, Jason?
That is not correct.
Okay. All right. So we will continue to take answers, and one answer per person, please. Don't just, because otherwise somebody could go 2007, 2006, 2005. No, one answer per person. And guess what year, or maybe you know what year Jason joined the home team. But anyway, we've got a lot to get to today. I am very disenchanted, Jason, with college football. I'm looking at the way things have shaken out. The 4 teams that had byes all lost. Mm-hmm. And that just shouldn't happen because they're supposedly got the bye because of their success.
Yes and no. The difference is in this college football playoff, they put the emphasis on winning your conference championship. Mm-hmm. So sometimes the teams that win the conference championship are not as good as some other teams that do not. Example, Ohio State. You look at how Ohio State is playing. That loss to Michigan kept them from being able to play for the conference championship, but it also looks like it woke them up, and now they're on fire. They're playing their best football, and they look like the best team. The way that the playoff structure is formatted, though, what I like is it gives teams – it allows things to be decided on the field, where before, when you had less teams – and I know I flip-flopped on this because I was once avidly opposed to expanding the playoffs, even to beyond 2 teams.
Let me just jump in real quick. Sure. Donald is asking 2004.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Go ahead. I just, as people are guessing,
that's fine.
I want to throw
that's fine. But at least when you have less teams, there's always going to be a controversy about what teams get in and what teams get out. The only way to truly solve that of who the better team is to have them play on the field. Now, with 12 teams, you have a bunch of teams that were really good. They all have very good records, similar credentials, and you're allowing all of them to play it out on the field, and ultimately that should determine who the best team is. And from that point of view, I do like this setup with the playoff. But what you're talking about, though, is a little bit different. You're talking about the players choosing not to play in other bowl games.
Yeah, and to me, that's just not right. If you're part of the
100%.
team, you should play. Unless you're injured, that's the only reason I could see not playing.
In my opinion on this, and I've been harping on this for the last several years, because this has become normalized now, where players, if your bowl game is not a part of the college football playoff, it's become the norm to call it a meaningless game, and players are encouraged. Players who are expected to be draft picks to go into the NFL are encouraged not to play in it. Or with the transfer portal being that the players can transfer after every single season, some players will enter the transfer portal. And then they'll basically no longer be a part of that team. I think something has got to change there. And
absolutely.
Well, my opinion is this: if players are not going to take these bowls seriously and deem them to be not important to the point where they're not even going to play, I would just assume the bowl games, those other bowl games, be discontinued, not even played.
Well, that'll never happen.
Well, okay, so the other
too much money involved.
But the other idea is this. Then, if number one, with the transfer portal rule, a player can only transfer one time, and that's it in their college career. They're only allowed to transfer one time, and that's it. No more after that. And with the NIL money, the names, image, and likeness that so many players get now, you basically make that money will be paid only if the player plays in every single game. Of course, barring injury is the only one, alternative there. But if they play, they have to play every game, including the bowl game. The bowl game that's another game on your team's schedule. You agreed to play for a certain school. You play every single game. You're a football player. That's what you do. You play every game. If you choose not to play in that bowl game, that's your choice. But then you forfeit all of that NIL money you were going to make that season. You will not get a dime of it. You want to take, if you're going to go pro, you may get a big contract there. But if you want to make money in college football, you must play every single game on your team schedule.
We have a question for you, Jason, on Facebook Live. I feel like the moderator here and just ask Jason. But this is his baby, this college football. If you're talking NBA, NHL, then that's mine. But Jason, Miami Hurricanes lose 42-41. That was in their bowl game too, I believe, wasn't it? Okay. What do you think of Cam, quarterback, and Miami not playing in the second half?
I think it's wrong. Yeah. I think it's wrong. If you're gonna agree to play, you play the entire game. And from my understanding, I don't know if he was looking to set a record. In terms of for quarterback play, in terms of statistical record in the first half, or if he's just trying to impress the scouts one more time, but then sit it out. The second half. But to me, that's wrong. I mean, you go in if you're going to play the whole game, and you should play. And the other side of that is I look at the fans who spend money to go to these games. They spend money on the tickets. They spend money also on travel. Many of them, and I think that when the key players that were on those teams don't play, the fans are getting ripped off. Because I think
same as in pro sports.
Well, and I think that what some of these other college football bowl games have become, they become NFL preseason games, where players that did not play, you really, some of them you haven't even heard of, they're playing because the true starters on those teams are choosing to sit out or have left if they've entered the transfer portal. And I don't like that at all. And as it is, I think there are way too many bowl games. I wouldn't mind a lot of the bowl games being discontinued. They should never have added these many bowl games. But if you're going to have a bowl game, the players should play. And if they choose not to play, there should be a penalty for that, in my opinion.
Well, the biggest complaint I have with the bowl games, in fact, Matt has just researched it, 43 now, total bowl games, 43.
It's ridiculous.
I don't like any bowl game. I think all of the preliminary bowl games should be finished before the playoffs begin.
Yeah.
In those bowl games that are considered a playoff game, there shouldn't be any games played after that. Like, for example, we had a couple yesterday.
Yeah.
The First Responders Bowl that was played yesterday, and they had a bowl game. I think it was North Texas and Texas State.
That's right.
Played in that. Why are they playing after the championship playoffs have already reached the semifinals?
Yeah.
So that's just bad schedule.
Well, there are way too many bowl games, and also the fact that so many teams, you see a lot of teams with 6-6 records going into bowl games, and to me, 6-6 is not. It's a mediocre season.
Yeah.
It's not good. I think if you're going to a bowl game, it should be a reward for having a good season. What qualifies as good? Well, at least a winning record, at least being 7-5. But to me, 6-6 should not get you into a bowl game. But because there are so many bowl games, you have to have teams to fill those slots. That's why you see a lot of 6-6 teams in those bowl games.
I wonder what the viewing audience was for North Texas, Texas State. How many people actually watch that?
I didn't watch. I'll put it that way.
It's just ridiculous, some of the games that are on. Kirk saying, good morning, home team. Happy New Year 2025. Bring you guys, all the listeners, many blessings. We appreciate that, Kirk. Thanks for posting that. Good morning to DJ Bolt. He's watching on Facebook Live. Good to have him with us today. And we want to get your thoughts on a lot of different things. And another one is tomorrow, the Buccaneers have all that they could possibly hope for.
Yep.
They are playing at home.
Thank you, Washington.
Yeah. I hope they sent the Commanders a fruit basket.
Yeah.
Because
something.
They did the Bucs a huge favor by knocking off Atlanta and allowing the Bucs to control their own destiny by winning tomorrow. We were trying to figure out who the Bucs' opponent would be, assuming they win tomorrow and win the division. And Matt was saying that it was the loser of the Minnesota-Detroit game.
That's what it'll probably be.
But then I had a question about the Bucs and the Rams having the same record. If the Bucs were to win today or tomorrow and the Rams were to lose, who would be the three seed?
I don't know how what the tiebreaker would be. So it's usually the tiebreaker has to do with, I think, conference wins against conference teams. What is it, Matt?
Yeah, it's wins over. It's win percentage based on conference games, and the way it sits right now, the Bucs are 7-4 in conference. The Rams are 6-5. So
the Bucs would have a better record.
The Bucs would have the better record. The Bucs would get the 3 seed and host Washington.
That's a lot better. That's a lot better scenario. Who do the Rams? I forget who the Rams play.
The Rams play at 4:00. They're in Seattle. They're playing the Seahawks.
Okay. That's a tough game.
Yes, it is.
So that's
even though it doesn't mean anything for Seattle, that's a very big deal. Because if the Bucs can win and the Rams were to lose to Seattle, the Bucs get the 3 seed. Yeah, I'd much rather face Washington, a team that we've already beaten. We played them and beat them the first week of the season. It's always hard to beat a team twice.
Yeah, but still, I'll take my chances with them as opposed to Detroit or Minnesota. A team that's going to have with an outstanding record, who both have had outstanding seasons. So
I would say if you're a Bucs fan, if the Bucs do win tomorrow, be rooting for Seattle to knock off the Rams.
100%.
So there is I think a lot of people thought it was going to be the loser of Detroit, Minnesota, but actually it could very well be the Washington Commanders.
I'll take the Commanders all day long there.
Yeah. So things you learn by tuning into the home team. Kirk has the Bucs winning 27-10, and he has a halftime score of 17-3. So that's how he sees it, and he also is echoing that the Bucs would play either the loser of Minnesota, Detroit, or the Commanders, depending on what the Rams do.
Right.
So there is some meaning to that game between the Rams and the Seattle Seahawks at 4:00 after the Bucs game. So anyway, that's some of the scenarios we're looking at here. Lightning, I wanted to point out the game on Tuesday night between the Lightning and the Carolina Hurricanes is actually the makeup game of opening night. If you remember, the Lightning's opening night was postponed because of, ironically, a hurricane, and they were scheduled to play the Hurricanes. So that game on Tuesday night is not on the Lightning schedule. It was the makeup game from the opening night. And if you have tickets from opening night, they certainly will be honored on Tuesday night. So I just want to point that out, get that out there, because a lot of people would say, no, they don't have a game Tuesday night. Their next home game is Thursday. That's what it was scheduled to be. But they should point out that is a makeup game on Tuesday night.
Lightning coming off a disappointing loss to San Jose, one of the worst teams. Again, you're going to have those from time to time. Overall, the Lightning's record is a good one. I still think they're doing pretty well, but you certainly don't want to go on any kind of a losing streak. I know they have the Kings tonight. Kings are a good team, so that's going to be a tough one. But overall, I think Lightning still are doing pretty well. They stay right there in the middle of the pack. They give themselves an opportunity to hit their stride, later on going into the playoffs, which that's really what you want to do. You want to be healthy and playing your best hockey right around playoff time. So if they can do that, I think they'll be in good shape.
Couple of scores that have already come in. Donald has the Bucks winning 31-14 and leading 17-7 at the half. And John has the Bucks winning 30-23 and leading 17-10 at the half. So unanimous thus far that the Bucks win. Do you see any way the Bucks don't win this game?
I really don't. When you consider all the factors, what the Bucks have on the line here, the way the Bucks have been playing as of late, which has been very well, the fact that New Orleans has been decimated by injuries and not playing well. They're I think really ready for the season to be done with. No, I don't see any scenario. The Bucks would absolutely have to fall apart. Make mistakes, turn the football over, penalties. Essentially they would have to have, I think, their worst game of the season. Coming at such a critical time with what's on the line, I don't see that happening. I think the Bucks should win, and I think they should win rather handily.
And Kirk is saying on Facebook, good to see so many people on Facebook Live today, but we do want you to call in.
Please.
That's part of the show. But Kirk says they had 28,725 in attendance at the First Responder Bowl between Texas State and Texas, North Texas. And it was the sixth best crowd ever. So people did go to that game. I guess if you're in Texas and the game was played in Texas,
sure,
which it was, it's an easy trip for many fans.
I heard that the attendance for USF's game, the Hawaii game against San Jose State, was very bad. Was very low. Others, it's hit or miss. I think the game here, the ReliaQuest Bowl. Two top programs, Alabama and Michigan. You're going to bring in some fans for those teams. Yeah. I guess it all depends on what schools are playing and how how big a fan base they have and what kind of fans they draw with them.
Just also pointed out on Facebook Live that LeBron James has moved past Michael Jordan as far as into fourth place on the NBA's career scoring list on Wednesday night. Good for him, but Michael Jordan is still better. I think, in my opinion, Michael Jordan is still the best to have ever played.
Yeah, it was. Now, I was thinking about this, too, in terms of athletes and who's the best. Some people judge that based on number of championships, but I really don't think you could do that because that has a lot to do with who has the better overall team. If you're going to go by championships, Michael Jordan is not the best of all time. Bill Russell would be, right? Didn't Bill Russell win 11? With Boston.
Right.
So, but even Bill Russell.
But he had a better surrounding cast.
But it's even with Bill Russell, his arch nemesis was Wilt Chamberlain. I think a lot of people felt Wilt Chamberlain was the better player between the two, but Wilt Chamberlain was not on the better teams. Bill Russell was. So that's why when you look at sometimes number of championships, that can be misleading as to who the best ever was.
Well, just ask Dan Marino.
Of course.
Yeah.
And many others.
Yeah. One other point I wanted to bring up and get your thoughts on, and that is another trivia question. And as you know, quarterbacks generally at Christmas time give a gift to their offensive linemen as a way of saying thank you for allowing me to stay out of the hospital and still be walking at this point of the season, because it's very late in the NFL season. Question is, what did Baker Mayfield give his offensive lineman for Christmas? And if you know the answer to that, I ran it past both Jason and Matt, and neither one knew the answer to it. If you know the answer to it, we've got a $20 gift certificate to Alessi Bakery for you.
All right.
And anyway, but you have to answer that. What did he give his players for Christmas? In the past, players have given very extravagant gifts. They've given things like jewelry or cars or something like that, things of that nature. But what did Baker Mayfield give to his offensive linemen? Now, I'm not saying that he didn't give them all cars, or he didn't give them all jewelry or watches or whatever. But if you can answer that question, we've got a $20 gift certificate to you from Alessi Bakery. And still no one has hit the year yet, Jason, that you joined the home team.
Yep.
So as you make your guesses, we'll ask the source himself if that's correct. And if you can get it correct, you got a gift certificate coming. We're going to take a break, and then we will be back with your phone calls. Rock Riley's going to join us at 9:45 this morning, and Gordy Zimmerman will be joining us at 10:15. So we look forward to that. But between now and then, we have time for your phone calls and, of course, for your comments on Facebook Live. More of the home team coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
After a car accident, there are many questions that you need answers to. Who pays for my car repairs? Who pays for the medical bills? What about my lost wages? And more. The personal injury law firm of Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes has been answering these questions for their clients for nearly 70 years. Since 1955, they've been a voice of the injured in the legal system. As one of the longest established law firms in Tampa Bay, Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes is here to answer your questions. Listen to their live call-in radio show on this channel every Tuesday evening from 5 to 6 p.m. or call them at 727-796-8282 or visit them at voiceoftheinjured.com. Offices Clearwater, non-attorney spokesperson. When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with two N's, development.com.
If you're a barbecue lover, you've got to try Hank's Place at 8546 Northdale Mabry in Carrollwood, just 100 yards north of Waters Avenue. Ribs, pulled chicken or pork, wings, gator, catfish, shrimp, beef brisket, sausage, chicken tenders, and a whole lot more. It's all waiting for you along with your favorite sides, including black-eyed peas, corn on the cob, fried green tomatoes, and fried okra. Some good eating is waiting for you at Hank's Place, a place to hang your hat and lick your fingers.
Sooner or later, you're going to need a plumber. It's just a fact of life. Want somebody honest and reliable? The plumber I use is the Bearded Plumber. I've known Thomas since his high school days and now is an established plumber who offers 24-hour-a-day full service because plumbing emergencies don't wait. Keep this number handy. You know you're going to need it. It's 866-882-3273. The Bearded Plumber, 866-882-3273.
Life Builders Christian Counseling Center brings hurting people to wholeness in Christ. Life Builders is a professional counseling center with multiple counselors and locations in Brandon and Tampa. They offer in-person, Zoom, and group sessions, counseling individuals, married couples, children and adolescents, and families. Some of our licensed counselors take most insurances. Call 813-438-5949 or visit lifebuilderscounseling.org. Life Builders can help. 813-438-5949 and at lifebuilderscounseling.org.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning and host of the Home Team Sports Radio Show. I'm here to tell you about our educational home team, Cambridge Christian School. No longer Tampa Bay's best-kept secret, CCS is the perfect blend of academic rigor and a biblical worldview foundation, serving families for over 60 years. Come see why we are the #1 rated Christian school in Tampa and visit us at ccslancers.com.
Looking for newer used golf clubs and balls? Stop by T&D Golf at 4205 West Waters Avenue, a half-mile west of Dale Mabry. Brand name clubs at discount prices. T&D has the best repair facility with the largest selection of grips in stock. Hundreds of sets of gently used clubs, a large selection of putters and wedges, and the best selection of quality used golf balls in Florida. Open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. T&D Golf at 4205 West Waters Avenue, a half-mile west of Dale Mabry.
I want to tell you about one of Tampa's hidden gems that you may not know about. It's the Pirate Water Taxi that takes you up and down the Hillsborough River from the Tampa Convention Center to Armature Works. I ride it all the time. It runs from 11:30 a.m. until 8:30 p.m., 7 days a week. What a great way to see the sights of downtown Tampa with beverage service available on board. Best part is you can hop on and off at any of their 12 stops all day for one low price. For more information, visit piratewatertaxi.com.
The Florida State Fair is coming in February. But did you know the Florida State Fair is so much more than just a fairgrounds? Everything from hunting and fishing shows to trade shows and competitions to men's and women's conferences to concerts and so much more. Be sure and circle your calendars for February 6th through the 17th, 2025 for the 121st edition of the Florida State Fair at the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa. See you at the fair.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team and taking care of some business here before we continue along. We have Don in St. Petersburg is guessing 2002, Jason, as the year that you joined.
That is correct.
All right,
Yep.
2002. Congratulations, Don, in St. Petersburg. We've got a Alessi Bakery gift certificate coming out to you. So congratulations to you. He also has the Bucks winning by a score of 24-16, the identical score to Mike on Facebook Live, and this is why we do the halftime scores.
Yes.
Mike has the Bucks leading by 7 at halftime, where Don has them winning by 10 at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
So that if the score comes out 24-16, or that is the closest score, then it will come down to the halftime score to break the tie between Mike and Don.
That would be a little too close for comfort, in my opinion. Again, a win is a win. We'll take it. But I don't know. With the way these teams are playing, I expect the Bucks to take care of that. I mean, kind of what they did last week against Carolina.
So let me just say this now that we've established the year and that Don is the winner in St. Petersburg. We are still looking for the answer to what did Baker Mayfield give his offensive lineman for Christmas? See if you can come up with that. And Jason, before we get to Randy real quick, I just want to thank you for 22 years of joining us here on the home team.
Well,
it's been a pleasure.
Well, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I remember how it worked. I had my own show. It got started earlier on. Hal Jeffrey was the man who got me introduced. back at one of the older stations, and I had it was the show Sports Beat was on for a period of time. But I had a couple of co-hosts here and there. They went on to do other things, so I kind of didn't know if I wanted to do the show by myself, but you were kind enough to invite me on with you, and here we are these years later. So thank you very much for giving me that chance.
The way that I looked at it was you were an incredible mind and knowledge of sports. I was extremely impressed by all that you knew, and I thought you just needed a little bit of radio polish. That was your first endeavor into radio.
Yeah.
And I thought, this guy really has something here. And I actually was looking for somebody to host the show with me.
Yeah.
And it ended up being you.
Worked well.
And if I'm not mistaken, it was back when Big Ed was running the board for us at that time.
I don't even remember, honestly, but it could have been.
Yeah. So Donald has answered the other question as to what Baker Mayfield gave. Go ahead, Matt.
Well, do we have Randy on the line?
We'll get to Randy in a second, but it was the year Jason joined the show that Don got correct. We haven't answered Baker's question yet.
You got it mixed up. Don in St. Petersburg got the year correct.
Yes.
Donald in Lutz has the gift from Baker Mayfield correct.
Do we get...
Well, let's give Randy a shout.
Let's do that. Let's bring Randy in.
He's on.
Hello, Randy. You're on the home team.
Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. Are you a first-time caller, Randy?
I sure am.
Well, welcome to the show.
We've got a prize coming to you, whether you get the questions right or not, and we're also going to get you into the contest of the Bucks and the Saints. So before you hang up, make sure that Matt gets your address so that we can put you into our file and get the prizes out to you.
Excellent.
How did you find us?
Oh, I've been with you almost from the beginning. I'm one of those people that do mostly listening and no talking.
Nothing wrong with that.
I enjoy all the participants that call in and on Facebook, but also a lot of the guests that you bring in, especially someone recently that you had on, and hopefully he'll be back on sometime soon as Jay Rutger.
Yes, he is going to be coming back on soon. He was up in New York visiting relatives during the Christmas and New Year's holidays, and maybe as soon as next week, he may be coming on the program again.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what do you think, Randy? What did Baker Mayfield give his linemen for Christmas?
He actually gave the linemen cookies with their uniform numbers on it.
That is correct. Wow. And both you and Donald in Lutz have it, so we're going to send Alessi gift certificates to both of you. Then the reason I said Alessi gift certificates, cookies.
Cookies, I'm about to say, ironic, yeah. Oh, that's very cool.
This is the Alessi Bakery show today. I think
don't mind that.
It's all about Jason. But, Randy, we're going to get that out to you. It's funny because athletes are used to getting jewelry, a beautiful watch or a ring or a bracelet or a car.
Offensive linemen eat a lot. They're hungry, so why not get it? I can see cookies making sense for them.
And, of course, Baker, you think of Baker and the cookies.
Very
so
true.
I'm sure that's his reasoning behind it.
Very much so.
But I wonder what the thought of was with the offensive linemen when they got that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they need a car or it's not like they need a new watch or something like that.
Cookies they can go for them. Yeah. But of course, if it's that nice, you might not want to eat it. If it's their jersey, right?
Maybe they get them framed or something.
Yeah.
It's
a work of art.
Yeah. Very thoughtful and unusual way of thinking.
That is neat.
That Baker did that. But Randy, what do you see for the Bucks tomorrow? Do you see them winning this game? No one has said New Orleans as of yet.
No, I believe the Bucks are going to win. I mean, the way they've been performing has been remarkable as far as what they've been up against. And I don't know what to think about the secondary being injured for tomorrow's game, but I see the Bucks winning, and I'd probably say maybe 31-20.
All right. And for a tiebreaker, we need a halftime score.
Let's go with 17-7.
17-7 favor the Bucks. All right, very good. Well, Randy, I hope you won't be a stranger.
Yes,
we love,
please call in.
We
Absolutely.
love people listening. We love people watching on Facebook Live, but we really love when you call in. So,
Well, it's been great and entertaining through the years, and you were correct bringing Jason on. He's like an encyclopedia sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Very kind.
He's the modern day encyclopedia.
I got a lot of useless information up there. It just gets trapped sometimes.
And just to show that, Randy, pick a Super Bowl at random. Pick any Super Bowl at random, and Jason will tell you the final score and who played in it.
How about Super Bowl 17?
Super Bowl 17. That was the Washington Redskins over the Miami Dolphins, 27-17. I do know John Riggins was the MVP of that game.
Oh, my gosh. What was the game time temperature?
That one I can't tell you.
Okay, all right. All right. Well, Randy, thanks so much for joining us. Don't hang up. We need to get your address so that we can get the prizes out to you.
All right. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. And go Bucks and go Lightning tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's hope the Lightning can bounce back.
Bounce back there.
And we'll probably see, thank you, Randy. We'll probably see the backup goaltender, I'm guessing, in the game tomorrow night against Anaheim, which is a weaker team.
Right.
That they'll go with Johansson tomorrow.
I was looking at the standings. The Kings are good. I mean, they're the second place in their division, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got a good record, so that's going to be a tough one. But yeah, disappointing that they lost to San Jose, because I believe I heard San Jose coming into that game was on like a pointless streak and a losing streak.
They'd lost 9 in a row at home.
So you don't ever want to end that if you're their opponent.
But you never. I mean, you look ahead. Maybe they were looking ahead to that LA game.
Sure.
They see a team that hasn't had much success. They come out flat.
When you play that many games during the regular season, you're going to have games like that where you're the better team, but you just don't show up. You don't, for whatever reason, you don't have a good night, and you get upset. That'll happen. Again, the key with the Lightning, I like where they're at right now. I think with they have a good core of players. They have some new players in the mix, but their record is good. Mm-hmm. They got a winning record. Hopefully, you stay around there and you start hitting that stride as you get closer to the postseason. And hopefully, this year we can make a run deep into the postseason after a couple of early exits. The last couple of years.
And Andrei Vasilevsky looks like he's starting to round into. He's giving up right around 2 goals a game, sometimes 3. But you can win a lot of games when you only give up 2.
When he's on.
Yeah. We're going to take a break, and then we will come back. Rock Riley will join us on the other side. Yeah, it was pointed out on Facebook Live that the Lightning will see their old friend Alex Killorn on Sunday against Anaheim.
Wow.
So that's going on as well. Lightning, by the way, are having a watch party. I believe it's at Sparkman Wharf on Sunday night for the game between the Lightning and the Anaheim Ducks. And it's a 8 o'clock face-off local time, 5 o'clock in Anaheim. So if you want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. We're going to take a break. Rock Riley on the other side. More of the home team on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
We regret to inform you that the Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach suffered extensive damage from Hurricanes Helene and Milton. The Palm Pavilion will remain closed until further notice. We are working daily to rebuild an even better Palm Pavilion, but it is going to take some time. Please know we will be reopening, and all gift certificates you may be holding do not expire, and they will be honored upon our reopening. We at the Palm Pavilion wish you all the best as you too rebuild from these 2 devastating storms. You can stay updated on our progress by visiting our website, palmpavilion.com. Once again, thank you for your understanding, and we look forward to serving you again with our delicious food and drinks and beautiful sunsets just as soon as we can rebuild this 99-year tradition. In the meantime, stay safe, and please keep us in your thoughts and prayers as we will do the same for you. One of the questions I'm often asked is, how do you do it? With my busy schedule of working for the Lightning, Magic, Buccaneers, and the home team, I need to be in very good health. One person I have to thank for keeping me in good health for years is Dr. Troy Stirk of Stirk Family Medicine. He's helped me keep my blood pressure in check, my heart running smoothly, and an overall healthy feeling that is confirmed by my lab results. If you're looking for a good family physician, I heartily recommend Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine. You can reach his office at 813-264-7922. That's 813-264-7922. I'll tell you, Dr. Stirk is fantastic, and I'm sure you'll feel the same way if you become one of his patients. So now that you know my secret to staying healthy with a busy schedule, it's your turn. Call Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine, 813-264-7922. If you suffer damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments, no interest, and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, FASWD.com. That's FASWD.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the Home Team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. There when you need them, FAS Windows and Doors, FASWD.com. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning, Magic, and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is, with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory. Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and 1 has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com. Your number one home team fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Vermost Insurance Agency is a winning combination. We'll work with you to ensure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit the Vermost Insurance Agency in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com. That's vermost.com.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Home Team, our first show of 2025, and we are kicking it off with a bang. We've had a couple of trivia questions. Both have been answered, and I want to see if our next guest knows the answer to the second one. Rock Riley is joining us, and Rock, it's always great to have you on, especially to kick off a new year. Thanks for joining us today.
Always a pleasure being on the home team, and it's a great time of year with the football playoffs. Happy to be here, guys.
Well, we're glad to have you here. One of the questions we threw out that we finally had answered was, what did Baker Mayfield give his offensive lineman for Christmas?
It was a drink, and it was milk, but what was really in the milk, I don't really know.
Well, he gave them milk, that's right, but he also gave them cookies. And it was each one was designed with the player's number, jersey number in that shape. So the baker had some cookies for
Makes
the
sense.
offensive line.
Last year, if you remember, it was a fishing trip, and he said, we're going to wait, and it's got to wait a while because we know we're going to do well in the playoffs, and that's what he did.
Yeah, very creative, I thought, on Baker's part to do that. So I got to tell you, though, Rock, my son lives in Cleveland, and they are just in mourning over the loss of Baker Mayfield.
You know what? It's the
There's
Browns.
so many fans.
Well, listen, it's the Browns, and I sadly, if it's the Browns, what are you going to expect them to be to make bad decision after bad decision?
Yeah,
and they're a mess right now.
That's not making my son feel any better.
I'm sorry, you can't. What do you want to play the Sam Weiss clip?
No. No,
You don't
he
live in
doesn't.
Cleveland.
It's bad enough there right
pull
now.
out the phone and play.
Thank goodness for the Cavaliers that are keeping Cleveland alive in the sports world, the best team in the NBA. So good for them. But Rock, tomorrow, I don't see any way that the Bucs lose this game tomorrow against New Orleans. Then I know that's the worst thing to say.
Yeah.
But do you see any way that they control their own destiny? All they got to do is win this game tomorrow against a New Orleans team that is really struggling. Is there any way they lose this game?
You know what? I am with you guys. And you're right, Paul. It's always dangerous to do that. It is the NFL. You never know. That's why they don't even schedule the times in the beginning of the year for the last week for everybody, because they know it all comes down to this for so many teams. But being in the locker room, being around the team this week, I have never seen a team. The vibe is so good, hooting and hollering, and just really sharp, a little extra sharp at practice because they know that they're playing for something. And then when you look at the Saints, I had Mike Neighbors on my show, and he's covered the Saints for decades, and he basically said it's like a JV team. They don't have Olave, don't have Kamara, don't have Derek Carr, don't have Rashid Shaheed. Interim head coach.
Yeah.
I mean,
just
you're
waiting
right.
for the season to be ended as soon as possible.
You would think. Now, the only thing is the Bucs do not play the Saints good at home. They play them better when they're in that dome. And last year they had the bad Saints team, not as bad as this Saints team, and they lost. If you remember, they did clinch the following week and beat the Carolina Panthers,
right,
and that was only 9-0. So I don't take any team lightly in the NFL. It is the NFL. But this is the one that I feel so confident the Buccaneers will win.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And of course, that Saints team last year did have a lot of their play. They had Derek Carr still, and I have to think that sometimes that when you lose to a team year in and year out, I think it's coincidence whether you lose at home or win on the road. I mean, sometimes it could get in your head, but that's just a matter of coincidence. I think it just worked out that way sometimes.
Rock, we were kicking around this question, and we were trying to figure out who the Bucs would play if they do win tomorrow, which I think they will. If we're not correct on this, let us know. But our understanding is if the Rams lose to Seattle, then the Bucs would play the Commanders. If the Rams beat Seattle, the Bucs would play the loser of the Minnesota-Detroit game.
That's pretty much the scenario. More than likely would be the loser. It could be the Lions. It could be the loser of that game, or it could be the Commanders. There's also a third scenario, outside chance, could be Green Bay. But no, I think you guys are pretty much right on.
Okay, all right. And that Seattle-Los Angeles Rams game really has a big impact, assuming the Bucs win at 1. That game is at 4. If you're a Bucs fan, I'd much rather play the Commanders than I would either the Vikings or the Lions. So I'm going to be rooting for Seattle in that game with a shot at getting the Commanders instead of Detroit or Minnesota.
The thing is, too, I mean, the Commanders are really playing good football, and Jade Daniels is unbelievable, but he is still a rookie. It would still be his first ever playoff game, and being around NFL players long enough, they always say the season really amps up from preseason, obviously, to the first regular season game, but even that playoff, it amps up more. Every player, they're hyped up more. They're on focus even more. So, yeah, maybe you go with a rookie quarterback, but they're dangerous. I think any team, once you get in, I think the key for the Buccaneers is getting that home playoff game.
Of course,
yeah.
And the Bucs have played and beaten both the Commanders and Detroit. They have not played Minnesota yet.
Yeah,
which is
hard to beat a team twice.
Rock, I got to tell you though, I think the Bucs, of course, assuming that they take care of business and make the playoffs, I think it all depends. It comes down to the Bucs defense in terms of how far they go in the playoffs. We know the offense is going to move the ball, score points. The defense, though, has to play better than really what it has overall this season.
Now, if you look lately, they've been playing very well in the second half, not in the first half. I'm with you, Jason. And I mean, look, Kancey and Vita Vea in the middle are dangerous. They have not been getting the pressure from the outside edge. Defensive secondary at times still scares me. Antoine Winfield Jr., it looked like he was going to go on Thursday. He actually, for the first time, got with the team and was doing the running, and we're like, okay. And then Bowles said yesterday, no, he's still not ready to go yet. So maybe you'll get him in the playoffs. That would be a boost. But really, if you look at the numbers, they've only got 7 interceptions. It is the lowest in the 49-year history of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on defense. They don't take the ball away. So I'm with you, Jason. It's going to come down to the defense.
Again, I'm looking ahead, Rock, but should the Bucs win tomorrow, the playoff weekend, if I'm not mistaken on this, is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. They still have a Monday night playoff game, and they have a Saturday playoff games as well.
Yes, no, you're right. It's funny. I've been covering the team, so I just still go week to week, and I'm focused on getting by this week. And you're probably doing the right thing for the fans. You're focused on past this.
Yeah, well, for me, it's scheduling too, because
that's what
I have an Orlando Magic game on Sunday, so I'm hoping that they play the Saturday.
I know that last year they Bucs played on the Monday night game against the Eagles in last year's playoff game. So, but we'll see. I heard just someone mentioned Saturday. I don't know that they would have already made that. I don't see how they could have made that decision. But someone, just in passing on the air, said thought that they said they might play Saturday in a playoff game. But who knows?
Yeah. I think Rock, a lot of it has to do with who the opponent is. And the networks look at it and they say, okay, Detroit, Tampa Bay, that's attractive. We'd like to see that. Where Tampa Bay, Washington not so much.
Right.
Yeah, so that has a factor for the Monday night game and even the Saturday night games too.
I was surprised that the number one Fox team is coming here. Most of the country is seeing this game at 1:00. I was surprised. Brady is here. Aaron Andrews is here. Rinaldi. They're here for this game. They're here now.
Well, I think it's because it's the only 1:00 game that means anything.
Well, that's right. Well, of course, and the big game of the day is Minnesota and Detroit, which is the night game. The night game.
But so for the 1:00 games, I think this is the only game other than the Atlanta Carolina game.
The Falcons game does mean something for the Falcons. I guess if the Buccaneers win, it's an automatic. The hat, the T-shirt. I don't know if they're going to have a confetti, but I know they're going to get the hats and the T-shirt. So but remember, the Falcons, they're playing at 1:00. If the Buccaneers, you got to hope they lose. If the Buccaneers lose.
Absolutely. And if they both lose, the Bucs are the division champions. So ironically. Well, Rock, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Always great to talk with you. And give us your score for the game tomorrow before we let you go.
Yeah, I got this one 32-17. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be the NFC South winners 4 years in a row.
Yes, sir. And real quick, a halftime score.
21-17. to 3.
Gotcha. Thank you so much, Rock. Happy New Year.
All right, guys.
All right.
Pleasure.
Thank
Happy
you.
New Year, boys.
More of the home team coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
WTAN, Clearwater,
FM 106.1,
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Linda Kenyon. A national farewell begins this hour in Plains, Georgia, for the late President Jimmy Carter. CBS's Mark Strassman joins us from Plains.
Jan Williams called Carter a friend for nearly 50 years. They worship together every Sunday at Maranatha Baptist Church.
I just want to go and stand by the casket for a few moments and just say out loud, thank you, Mr. Jimmy.
Bells will ring in Plains in honor of the 39th President of the United States. Former CBS News White House correspondent Peter Mayer covered the Carter White House and has more details about how today's observances will unfold.
Following the poignant remembrance in the Carter family hometown of Plains, the former president's body will travel to Atlanta. There will be a moment of silence at the state capitol where he served as a state senator and, of course, governor. The coffin will then go to the Carter Center, where the public will be able to pay their respects.
Jimmy Carter died last Sunday at the age of 100. A large swath of the country will be impacted by a major winter storm this weekend. Meteorologist Craig Allen tells us it will include this part of the country.
The southern sections of North Dakota, through all of western South Dakota, Nebraska, into Kansas, Missouri. Winter weather advisories are actually being upgraded to winter storm warnings from Topeka, Kansas, right through major hubs like St. Louis over towards Cincinnati. This is an area that's going to pick up heavy snow, ice, sleet, strong damaging winds, and obviously there's going to be quite a bit of power failures in these areas.
This might be a good weekend to stay inside and keep warm. One of the first orders of business for the new U.S. Senate will be to confirm President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet picks. Senate Majority Leader John Thune says some of Trump's most controversial choices must go through a vigorous confirmation process.
Whether or not they get through that process is going to be up to each individual senator and how they decide to vote. We have a 3-vote margin in the Senate, but I do think that in most cases, at least, most of our Republican senators are inclined to give the president the people that he wants in these positions.
The full interview with Senator Thune will be on tomorrow's edition of CBS's Face the Nation. U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy is calling for the cancer risk warning labels to be attached to alcoholic beverages, much like the warning labels on cigarettes. CBS's Dr. John LaPook says it's a good idea.
There was a survey out that found that only 45% of Americans know that there is a risk of cancer related to alcohol. Compare that with 90% of Americans who know that cigarettes cause cancer. Dr. Murthy said, got to get the word out.
This is CBS News.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at progressive.com.
Tune in to the Shrink and Wrap Show here on Tan Talk Radio.
Our stories and our topics will include, but are not limited to, everyday issues. We're here for you, for our listeners. We want to know what's important to you.
So again, don't miss us
on Tan Talk Radio. Tune in again, Shrink and Wrap Show.
We'll see you then.
That's the Shrink and Wrap Show every Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hey listeners, tune in to Nostalgic Radio and Cars Tuesdays at 7 p.m. I play some groovy 60s, 70s music and talk about far-out cars. I'll bring you up to speed on some bitchin' car shows, swap meets, and vintage racing. So join us Tuesdays at 7 p.m. on the Tan Talk Radio Network. Listen to my interviews with special car guys, celebrities, racers, builders, customizers, and collectors. We'll discuss cars, auctions, values, restoration, project cars, and parts. We'll have featured cars. We'll talk about test drives. We'll include topics on boats, planes, and vintage musical instruments. So tune in to Nostalgic Radio and Cars Tuesdays at 7 p.m. on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Listen to the latest pet trends with benefits on the Pet Buzz every Saturday morning. Join pet trendologist Charlotte Reed and veterinarian Dr. Michael Fleck as they talk all things pets. From animal health and wellness, money-saving tips, celebrity gossip, breaking news, and more. Their expert guests are in the know and in the now. To learn more about this unique program and its hosts, tune into the show on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
The Pet Buzz, Saturday mornings, 8 to 9 a.m.
This is the radio program Spectrum 360. This is Mark Skogman
and TK Weeks,
host of Spectrum 360 on the 6 stations of the Tan Talk Radio Network. Spectrum 360 is a talk radio program that features politics, the arts, and popular culture from a progressive point of view. Spectrum 360 broadcasts for 1 hour weekly on Monday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern Time and anytime via webcast at spectrum360media.com. Remember, Spectrum 360, news, politics, and arts from a creative and progressive point of view.
Hey Tampa Bay, Tammy here with the BCC Coupon Book. Tune in during drive time 5 to 6 p.m. on the Tan Talk Radio Network to hear the BCC Coupon Book radio show. We feature local small business owners with great deals for many services and restaurants in our listening area. And anyone interested in branding your business and getting your name out there, give us a call at the BCC Coupon Book, 727-804-6082. Have a great day, Tampa Bay.
That's the BCC Coupon Book, Wednesdays 5 to 6 on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is Paul Porter, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I hope you'll join me every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for my weekly show, The Home Team, heard right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network and Facebook Live, The Home Team with Paul Porter, talking Lightning, Bucks, Rays, USF, and a whole lot more. Your calls and prize giveaways. Join us this Saturday and every Saturday morning for The Home Team, 9 to 11 on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
The Rays have won the American League pennant. The Tampa Bay Lightning win their second straight Stanley Cup.
And when the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady. I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the Home Team on the Tan Talk Radio Network. The Home Team is brought to you in part by Cambridge Christian School, a Christian education that's affordable and well-respected. By FAS Windows and Doors, with stores in Tampa and Orlando. By Action Air Conditioning, family-owned and operated, serving the entire Tampa Bay area. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you very much, Brother Pat, and welcome to the Home Team, hour number 2, our first show of 2025. And it'll take about a month or so to get used to writing 2025 on your checks and anything else that
I've already started
a date.
At the bakery on the orders and the order forms. I've started doing it. I've done it thus far. I haven't made a mistake yet. I did write a check too, and I did put the 25, so I didn't mess up.
I'm accurate thus far as well. Yeah. I haven't made any mistake, but I know that sooner or later it'll happen. What is going on at Alessi Bakery before we get back to the phone lines?
We're back to having our weekly specials this week. Usually around the holiday times, around Christmas and New Year's, we don't have any buy one, get one free specials. But starting this Monday, January 6th, we'll be back to having buy one, get one frees. Our vanilla cake square and our chocolate devil's food cake slices will both be buy one, get one free, as well as our peanut butter cookies will be buy one, get one free as well. And we'll have our scacciata snack pack. That's the smallest size of the scacciata pizza box, the 10-piece box at a lower price of $9, and also our turkey sub sandwich, the Atlantic City style turkey sub, will be $1 off. Will be $11.95 at the bakery.
And how much for the Crunch Pups?
No comment. Still in work. It's still in the process.
These days.
Yeah,
one of these days.
I don't know.
I'll get you there. Anyway, you'll thank me for it, Jason. I guarantee.
Hopefully, we'll get around to it.
You'll thank me for it. The rubber cement man has weighed in, and
did he pick the Saints?
He did not.
Okay,
believe it or not,
good.
He did not.
Okay,
I'm normally, laughing or critical of the way that he responds, but he was very creative this time, and I wanted to read that to you. He says, based upon, hang on, it just jumped on me here. Okay, based upon the premise that even blind squirrels find nuts in the woods every now and then. I am picking, my football prediction is the Bucks winning 31-10.
Okay.
And a 10-10 halftime score. So the rubber cement man is even picking the Bucks to win this one. So it may be totally unanimous. Unless Matt throws us a curveball, we'll see. But it may be totally unanimous. So we'll see what happens. We've had Donald from Lutz on the phone line since I think around Thanksgiving. So
let's some point last year.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Within the new year now.
Let's see if he's still there. Hello, Donald. You're on the home team.
It's only been a year since I talked to you guys last.
Yeah, I would say.
By the way, congratulations on winning the contest of when. Let's see, you got the one of the milk and cookies, I think.
Yeah, they're cookies. Yep, the jersey members.
Right, right.
And then I appreciate all the prizes that I received for the Panthers Bucks win. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be that much of a blowout.
Nobody did.
Yeah, that was an incredible game.
You were 20 points off, Donald, and you won.
So I went to a sports restaurant with my 4-year-old grandson. Liz just corrected me. He's 5. That's right. He just turned 5 in November 20th. But so yeah, my 5-year-old grandson. We went to a place called Double Shot there in New Braunfels, near San Antonio, and they had all the football games on, and so he was excited. And he goes, "I want the white team to win." I goes, "No, the white guys are the bad guys." Goes, yeah, I know. I want the bad guys to win.
Oh.
No, we want the red team to win.
Yeah, that was. I think there were a lot of Buccaneer fans watching that Sunday night game, really pulling for the Commanders.
Absolutely,
and they even made mention of it on TV.
Well, that was a nerve-wracking game. I mean, it really a lot of changes in momentum. I was impressed by Michael Penix, of course, quarterback who's from the Tampa Bay area, now playing for Atlanta. He looks like he's going to be a very good player. But boy, I'm glad Washington pulled that out. You know, we're kind of fortunate Atlanta did not have their regular field goal kicker, Younghoe Koo, because the other replacement, he tried it at the end. It was online, but just came up short. That field goal that would have won it for Atlanta in regulation. So worked out for the Bucs. A lot of games that they played in did not work out for them. This one they did not play, and they needed to go a certain way, and they got the result. So hopefully they'll take advantage of it tomorrow.
The table is set for 1:00 tomorrow afternoon for the Bucs to become the NFC South champions for fourth straight year, right?
And also wanted to mention would set a franchise record for the Bucs to be in the playoffs 5 consecutive seasons. Never happened in their history. They've been there 4 consecutive times, but this would be their 5th straight year in the playoffs.
And of the 3 potential opponents, actually, I guess 4. I don't know how that Green Bay scenario would work out, how the Bucs would end up playing them. But realistically, it would be the loser of the Detroit-Minnesota game or the Washington Commanders if the Rams lose on Sunday afternoon. Of those 3 teams, who do you think is the favorable opponent for the Bucs?
No question about it. I think it's Washington. I just think the Bucs have beaten them. Aside from that, you know, Washington playing, they're kind of a team that came out of nowhere. Well, in a way, Minnesota did too a little bit, so I shouldn't say that. But with Jaden Daniels being a rookie quarterback, at least I think the Bucs would have the advantage there. That while he's very talented, he could be prone to rookie mistakes. And I just think that the Bucs overall, I think, are the better team than them. But I can't really say that with any confidence over Detroit, Minnesota, or Green Bay. I think the Bucs could certainly win those games, but they would enter those games probably as the underdog.
Detroit would be very difficult to beat them again, and Detroit would certainly remember what happened early in the season. So,
but I'll tell you, Minnesota is they've been going under the radar a little bit, but my gosh, with the way the season that Sam Darnold has had this year, and also their defense is really picking up now too, and they have one of the best wide receivers in the league in Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
So that would be a challenge, no question.
Well, it'll be a lot of fun tomorrow, and it'll be much more fun at 4:00 if the Bucs have defeated the Saints, and we can watch that Seattle-Los Angeles game and know that it actually means something as far as the Bucs playoff opponent is concerned. Donald, we've got you down as a 31-14 win for the Bucs and 17-7 at halftime. Correct?
Yes, the past 4 years in a row, Liz and I go to the last game of the season, and so we can't break tradition. So of course we're going again tomorrow, and they're going to win the division tomorrow. And they've won the division just about every game that we've been to.
I was gonna ask you what started that tradition of the last game. I've heard a lot of people go to the first game, but what makes it that you go to the last game every year?
The temperature.
Okay. Good answer. Good answer. And you're not going to be disappointed tomorrow. We've got a cold snap now, but I understand it's supposed to be like 72 at kickoff. So you can't get any better than that.
No, it'll be chilly. We will dress a little warm. I'm going to bring. I've got my Bucs division champion sweatshirt that I'm going to be.
You know, Donald, we've got some people listening in Ohio right now, and we just said it's going to be 72 degrees, and you said it's going to be a little chilly. And I wonder what the people in Ohio are saying to that.
Something like along those lines.
You don't know what chilly is, Donald. 72 degrees, and it's going to be a little chilly. Come on up here to Ohio, where we've got lake effect snow and temperatures in the teens and feels like less than zero.
Say, like Sam White said, you don't live in Cleveland, you live in Tampa. So that's a big difference.
72, and it's a little chilly. All right. I know those people up there are cringing at that. Donald, always good to hear from you. Thank you so much. All
you guys take care. You take care.
And dress warm. And the 70s are nothing to be, to take lightly. Yeah, I mean, we set our thermostat at 76 or 78, so it'll be a little chilly if it's 72. More of the home team coming up here on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, and just note here from in Cleveland, 21 degrees and windy right now. So,
no, thank you.
I'm going to dress warm. It's going to be 72, a little chilly. More of the home team coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Now, right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments and no interest and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the home team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. They're there when you need them. FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com.
My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahi tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations suggested but not necessary.
Rinkside Sports is your headquarters for all things hockey. From skates to pads and gloves to jerseys to socks. Anything you need to make your hockey experience a winning one. You'll find all the same brands the pros use, like Bauer and CCM. Rinkside Sports has 2 locations to serve you, inside Advent Health Center Ice in Wesley Chapel and inside the TGH Sportsplex in Brandon. Rinkside Sports. If it's hockey, it's Rinkside Sports.
Looking for a special night out or an out-of-the-ordinary way for a dinner date with family or friends? Check out the 2-hour Yacht Starship Cruise sailing from Channelside Drive in downtown Tampa. It features a complete dinner and free open bar, disc jockey and dancing while you sail away, taking in the best views of Tampa Bay. Dine, drink, and dance the night away. Reservations are required, so visit yachtstarship.com for all the details or call 813-223-7999. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning, Magic, and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is, with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory. If there's one thing I'm particular about, it's my pizza. ABC Pizza House at 1242 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Great specials, too, like a large one-topping pizza for just $11.99 every Monday or Thursday, or 2 pizzas with 2 toppings every Tuesday for just $22.99. Spaghetti with 1 topping every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday for just $8.99. ABC Pizza House, 1242 West Hillsborough Avenue, 813-213-0929. Open every day, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. abcpizzahouse.com. Grace Family Church with now 8 locations to serve you. Just how big is Grace Family Church? Here's Executive Pastor Chris Bonham.
On a typical Sunday, will be about 13,500 people. And then we have an online crowd that watches as well. That's dispersed all throughout our campuses and throughout people watching all over the world.
It seems like a big church, but it does feel small. I don't want a big church, but so the numbers are big, but there's a lot of opportunity for belonging and intimacy in the church.
Yeah, that's one of our values. We definitely want to make a big church small. So if someone's like, oh, I can't go, it's too big, we would really encourage you to check it out, because we do a lot of intentional things to take the large crowd and move it into a smaller, more manageable relationship.
For more information about all 8 campuses at Grace Family Church, visit gfcflorida.com. That's gfcflorida.com.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team, and glad to have you joining us on the program today. A number of people watching online, and we always appreciate that. And we've had a number of trivia questions today. I have one more for you that I want to throw out. I don't know if you know the answer to this or not, Jason, but don't say it out loud just in case you got it right. What year did the home team start? What was the first year of the home team? We already established that Jason joined in 2002, but the home team actually started before Jason joined. I mentioned that I actually did the show by myself for a while, but what year did the home team start?
I think I do know the answer, so I won't say it, but I do think I know it.
Well, if you can give us the answer to that, we've got a. Can we give another Alessi gift certificate out?
Oh, absolutely, please.
Okay, it's been very popular.
As many people as possible.
Very popular with our listeners and viewers, and I want to say hello to Jordan as well. Thanks for joining us today on the program. John is mentioning 1999. Do you think that's right, Jason?
No.
You're correct. It's not right. Was it 1999? Let's go to the phone lines. Our good friend Gordy Zimmerman joining us. Gordy, welcome back to the home team.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing? Happy New Year, Jason.
Good.
Paul.
Thank you. Good morning. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, we're having a good time here. We've established that Jason joined the home team in 2002. That Baker Mayfield gave cookies and milk to his offensive lineman, and now we're determining what year the home team actually started, and that's the trivia question that we have on the table right now. But disappointing loss on Thursday night, Gordy, to the San Jose Sharks. Do you just throw that one into the trash can and move on to L.A.? And I'm sure John Cooper would like to do that.
Yeah, it was an odd game. I mean, I watched it. It just seemed like every pass and every shot was missing the net or behind a player on the pass, or they fumbled. You know, and they even said it in the game that, you know, sometimes this happens. Right? And, you know, you guys were talking about it earlier. You know, they just had a bad night. And, you know, and every time this seems to happen in the NHL, when you got a good team that's playing good, comes up against a team, like you said, that's losing a lot of games. And next thing you know, the team that's on the bottom of the totem pole wins the game, right? It's unbelievable. Like, the NHL is an incredible league.
Well, the good news was the Lightning only gave up 2 goals in that game. Right. So they still played good defensive hockey. They just couldn't put the puck in the net that night. And, I mean, when you have guys like Kucherov and did Gensel even play that game? I didn't...
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you'll have nights when Point, Gensel, and Kucherov didn't score, and Anthony Cirelli got the only goal of the game.
Nothing went right.
He's having a good year, though. That's good to see him playing as well as he is.
Yeah, he's there every night, that guy.
Yeah, for sure. Gordy, I know there's a lot going on out at Trinity and the Generations Church. I was out there just last week. I had a chance to see you there. And, boy, so much going on. You've done an incredible job with that outdoor skating rink, which I guess this weekend is the last weekend for it.
Yeah, it's the last weekend. We have the farmers market today, so it's a pretty busy weekend coming up, and real excited about what happened out there. It's been a tremendous thing for the community, and Advent Health came in on a big sponsorship and really made it happen for us. So we were really excited about that. But we had a figure skating show out there. We had the Lightning came out and did a tri-hockey development program. And we had the Land O'Lakes high school hockey team come out and do a 3-on-3 tournament.
Very nice.
A lot of fun, just so much fun. We've had a great time, and we're really excited about, we got the first stage of the permitting done for the sports facility we're building on site, which is an NHL rink and a basketball, volleyball, training center for the school. And, so Generations, really excited about what's happening in the future development. So it's going to be a great year, Paul, and look to keep doing some things with you guys and talking hockey and sports. So
absolutely. There's been a lot of talk about could Tampa Bay ever host an outdoor game, and I guess you guys were like the first ones to ever successfy pull off real ice and keep it for 2 to 3 weeks.
30 days we'll be going on. So yeah, I'll tell you what, it works. Even when we had some 80-degree weather, we had, it's real fine line of when you build an outdoor rink, how thick is the ice, where do you keep it, how much water do you put down, all kinds of things. Well, we learned a lot, and I can tell the Lightning, I know they've been looking at that possibility, and I think they said something about the Panthers. It all depends on the tonnage of the refrigeration package and how thick you make that ice, and that's the key. So, there's some secrets behind it for sure, but it's doable, and it'd be a great event if we could do that at Raymond James or maybe at the new USF football stadium one day, or maybe at Trinity. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all some possibilities. But I think you've shown with that ice rink that it is possible to do it, and you pulled it off for 30 days. I mean, for a NHL game, it wouldn't have to be 30 days for sure. So that would make it a little bit easier.
Well, today it's really nice. It's cool out this morning. I went out there and got the rink opened up this morning, and we've had some young kids helping us that through the high school league, and we had 3 players come out and work with us, and they've got a job when I opened up the new building there with Johnny, and some really good things happened out of this. We're real pumped about it, and it was a great, like I said, great community thing that happened out there.
All right. Well, Gordy, before we let you go, we want to get you into the contest. Give us your score for the Bucks and the Saints tomorrow.
Oh, wow. I got to go with the Bucks. Let's go 27 to 17.
Okay. And how about halftime?
We'll go 17-3 Bucks.
All right. Been unanimous for the Bucks so far, so I hope our listeners are correct.
Yep.
Yeah, I think New Orleans is feeling a little down after what happened up there, and hopefully things smooth out here, and we have a great year coming up, and the Lightning are doing good. Hey, I think we failed to mention too that the Lightning are 4 or 5 games behind almost everybody in the league.
Yeah.
So, when they catch up, they could be in first place in their division if they could win a few games.
Well, they're going to be catching up, playing tonight and tomorrow night, and then Tuesday and Thursday next week. So they're going to make up some of those games, and they got to win them. Gordy, always great to have you on. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Take care.
All right. We've got a number of people waiting on the phone lines, including Lee and Marshall. And we're going to get to all of you. Don from St. Pete also holding. All of you are coming up next on the home team here on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live. This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the 3-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet. Ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with 2 N's, development.com. Much like the weather, your life could change at the drop of a hat. Don't be caught unprepared. You don't know what will happen tomorrow, but no matter what happens to you, you can make sure your loved ones are provided for with a life insurance policy from Auto Owners Insurance. Meet with a local independent agent and secure a policy now to rest easy knowing you're protecting the ones you love. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com.
Looking for a culinary and cocktail river journey? Then check out Craft, Florida's only dining river cruise. Craft features 3-course dining on the Hillsborough River with America's first open galley kitchen with gas cooking. The 2-hour cruise sailing from downtown Tampa will leave you with breathtaking views and mouth-watering cuisine served right to your table. For reservations, call crafttampa.com or call 813-223-7999.
This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning, Magic, and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is, with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. the original mattress factory. Happy 60th birthday, Cambridge Christian School. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning, here to tell you about the exciting growth happening here at CCS. Coming this fall is our state-of-the-art 45,000 square foot high school and STEM lab. For over 60 years, Cambridge Christian's award-winning academics, athletics, and the arts has been changing the way you think about Christian education. Visit us today at ccslancers.com. After a car accident, there are many questions that you need answers to. Who pays for my car repairs? Who pays for the medical bills? What about my lost wages? And more. The personal injury law firm of Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes has been answering these questions for their clients for nearly 70 years. Since 1955, they've been a voice of the injured in the legal system. As one of the longest established law firms in Tampa Bay, Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes is here to answer your questions. Listen to their live call-in radio show on this channel every Tuesday evening from 5 to 6 p.m. or call them at 727-796-8282 or visit them at voiceoftheinjured.com. Offices Clearwater, non-attorney spokesperson. Grace Family Church now has 8 locations to serve you throughout the Tampa Bay area. Talking about the 8th campus, here's Senior Pastor Craig Altman.
In the Land O'Lakes area, I would say between Land O'Lakes and Trinity off of Suncoast and 54, brand new campus. So if you're looking to get in on the ground floor, it's an exciting campus, a lot of young people, and I encourage you to check it out.
And if you're wondering what denomination Grace Family Church is, Executive Pastor Chris Bonham explains.
Well, it's actually a non-denominational church, but the neat thing is all the denominations you just mentioned, a lot of them do come. And so what's neat is this melting pot of different beliefs, but we come together based off the Bible and really teach that.
Visit one of the 8 campuses of Grace Family Church. For more information, go to gfcflorida.com. That's gfcflorida.com.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team, and we are very happy to have so many people waiting on the phone line, so let's not make them wait any longer. Let's go to Marshall next. Hello, Marshall. You're on the home team.
How are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Great. I'm really glad to hear full phone lines. Great show. Lots to talk about. Happy 2025 to everybody out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. And it was nice to see you and your wife and another couple there at the Lightning game the other night.
Yeah, we had a fantastic time, even though that was kind of the beginning of a little bit of a lull for them. They weren't really up for that game, and they really looked bad the other night against San Jose. And they just need to – I mean, this team's been up and down all season, in and out of the lineup, guys, everything else. But they bounce back all the time. That's what I'm.
Yeah, don't go on a major losing streak. Hopefully just stay right here, and they'll hit stride eventually, I think.
Yeah, that seems to be the pattern that they have. They win a couple, lose a couple, win 3, lose 1. They just get consistent, get a little bit better each time, become more comfortable playing with each other. A little disappointing to see Victor Hedman take that one off the ear the other night, but I'm sure it's going to be okay.
And I mentioned earlier, Marshall, it was good to see, even though they lost, they only gave up 2 goals. So the fact that Vasilevsky did his part and the defense did their part for the most part, just couldn't put the puck in the net.
Yeah, and that Ashcroft, that kid is an up-and-comer for them. He's a good young little goaltender, and we let him get some confidence, and that's what can happen, as you know. So anyway, real quick on the college football playoff, I think it's not been what they expected at all. I do feel, I listened to Jason in the beginning, and I understood where he's coming from. But the bottom line is everything that he talked about was from a fan's perspective, and the don't care anything about the fans. They're a $1 billion industry that are going to do whatever they can to make the most money, and that's just what they're going to do.
Yeah.
We don't have to like it. We're never going to like it, but that's just what they do.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and I don't know what can be done about it, or if anything will be done about it.
I don't think there's a plan to fix it. I mean, I know they got a plan to fix it, and one of the things that Jason talked about was, and we all know this, is, awarding buys to conference champions. I mean, we clearly saw that some of those conference champions weren't worthy of the bye round. And then you had other teams that got the bye, and for sure that was a good thing either, because then you're off for a couple of weeks and have to play a tougher opponent like Oregon did. So
Yeah.
I just think they got to reseed and work on this thing and come up with a better plan.
Yeah, well, I think the fact that most of the games have blowouts, that's a coincidence. I don't think that's going to happen every year. But looking at it, though, if there were only 4 teams in it, the only team that would have gotten in if there were just 4, I think, would have been Notre Dame. But all the others that would have been the top 4, which I think would have been Georgia, Oregon, and Boise State, they're all gone. So obviously, they weren't the best teams either. At least with here, we're going to get a bigger sample size, more teams competing, and you get a better idea who the teams are.
Yeah, well, I think this whole thing sets up every year for Notre Dame because they're not going to win a conference. The 5 seed is probably the best seed to draw, and that's probably the best that they can get. And all they got to do is be right in there in the mix. They don't have to worry about, because I think what's happened with this playoff is it's really, really, really diminished the conference championship game. That's what they're going to have to get rid of, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, understandable. Marshall,
you had 2 losers that got in the playoff.
Yeah.
For the conference championship game.
Yeah.
So.
And all the teams with byes lost. So, as you mentioned.
You also did have some teams that had to win their conference championship to get in, and they did. Clemson and Arizona State specifically there, too. So it can work both ways sometimes.
What do you have for a score tomorrow, Marshall?
I'm gonna be the hated guy and just take the Saints and say that Spencer Rattler just ruins them. There's a little fire in their belly from the whole everything that happened awfully in New Orleans, and he rolled up a nice second quarter on them the last time. And the Bucs, the one thing about the Bucs, they don't make anything easy. They really don't.
That's true.
I think they're going to win this game, but I think it's going to be more of a struggle than it needs to be. And I sure hope not, because I don't want to worry about it. But I'll take the Saints just to say they're gonna do something. I'll say they win 30-27 in this crazy wild game.
Okay, and how about a halftime score?
We'll go 20-17 Bucs.
All right.
Well, I hope I'm wrong.
I sure do too. It's going to be very depressing.
Everyone does.
Walking out of Raymond James tomorrow if they lose to the Saints.
Yeah, even hear your voice on the recording, so won't cheer people up. Leave it.
All right. Thank you, Marshall. Always good to hear. Hey, Marshall, before we let you go, check your calendar for January 25th. I think Jason is out that day, January 25th. So
around that, I think so. I'll check.
Yes, sir.
That is. Yeah,
okay, just let me know. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Want to say hello to a couple ladies that are watching on the program, Vicky and Angela. Glad to have both of you ladies with us.
Yes.
Vicky and Angela. Always good to have ladies watching on the program. The rose between the thorns, as I often say. But good to have you with us today. Let's continue along. We have Lee with us next. Hello, Lee. You're on the home team.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning to you.
I'm happy with the way things are at the college playoff. I hope it's an all Big Ten final.
Well, that's just because Ohio State won. That's why you're happy.
Oh, of course. Not 34. It was 34-0 before halftime.
Yeah. Ohio State, the way they're playing, Lee, I don't see any team beating them. They play that way the remaining couple of games. They're going to be the national champion.
Michigan could beat them.
Yeah, well, Michigan's not there right now, so.
They got the best freshman wide receiver in the country.
Yeah,
Ohio State does.
Yeah, they're loaded.
You were talking about the weather in Ohio. I talked to my son who lives in Wadsworth this morning, which is near Cleveland, and he had 5 inches of snow and it was 18 degrees. Had to use a snowblower twice yesterday to get the snow off his driveway.
I know right where Wadsworth is. We used to, when I was in high school in North Royalton, we used to play Wadsworth every year. And Wadsworth, I think the least they ever beat us by was like 52. I mean, it was like 67-0 or 61-3 or something like that. You know, we would just get clobbered.
So in addition to the cold weather, you lost by that much.
Yeah, Wadsworth was a
afternoon.
Good football team, and I was hearing that there was a player from Wadsworth that's made it to the NFL. So they put some pretty good players out.
Oh, I know the quarterback for Penn State is from Medina, which is right next door there.
Drew Aller.
He's a Medina High School kid,
and
he's a very.
That's another name that is mispronounced across the country. Everyone calls it Medina, but it's Medina. It's there are some Medinas out there, but this is the one that's called Medina. So
okay. Well, let me give you a score of 42-21 Bucks.
Okay. And
17 to 14 Bucks.
So they open it up in the second half then.
Yes.
I like your thinking. I think that could be pretty close to accurate. Thank you, Lee. We really appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, Lee.
Talk to you later. Bye now.
All right. Let's continue along. Don is with us next. Hello, Don. You're on the home team.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Thanks for holding on.
My question, thank you very much for the trivia question. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to ask you about tomorrow's Bucks game. How long do you keep people in the game? Like, for instance, Mike Evans only needs 85 yards for 1,000 receiving yards, where he makes it to 1,000 again. With Monte David has about 70 or so tackles. How much do you want to play him?
Well, it depends on the score,
I
think.
Yeah, I mean, see, if it was a game that they didn't need to win to make the playoffs, that would be different. But the fact that you have to win first, I think it would have to be really lopsided before they start taking players out. And it would have to be in the second half. Deeper into the second half, I think, before you're going to see that start happening.
And knowing Todd Bowles, he's a very conservative guy, and they could be up, say, 21-3, and he would still keep the guys in there because he's the kind of guy that says, I want to know, we'll give them the last 5 minutes off, but I want to know that we got this game before I start pulling guys.
Yeah, so a lot of that depends on the circumstances in the game. And again, we see some teams have already have things. There's a controversy going on in Philadelphia because Saquon Barkley is on the verge of breaking Eric Dickerson's single season mark for rush yards. But there's talk that he may not play tomorrow for the Eagles, and that's caused a big time stir because they want to. You go back and forth. Do you want to keep him healthy, or do you? When you have a chance to have a record like that once in a lifetime, could be a different scenario.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways.
Yeah, I think Todd Bowles will say, until I know that we have this locked down and we have this in the bag, everybody,
everyone's going to play.
All hands on deck.
Tua is hurt, and they don't want to play him tomorrow, but they still need to make the playoffs. So I'm not so sure that keeping Tua out of the game is such a good idea to begin with.
I think that they're looking at it that he's not healthy enough to play. From what I've heard, because if he were healthy enough to play, that's a must-win for Miami. They need to win and get help, but they've got to first win the game. And so my belief is that they just feel that he's not good enough to go.
Because even if Cincinnati loses today, Miami still has a shot if Denver loses.
Correct. Miami, Cincinnati has the toughest, so they have to win and have Miami and Denver both lose. Denver controls its own destiny, and Denver's going to be playing a Kansas City team that's already locked up home field, and I think Mahomes is going to rest, and several others are going to rest. There's no guarantee. Kansas City still is a very talented team overall, but at least Denver, you'd figure, would have a better shot, obviously, against the backups.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got you down, Don, for your score, and you have the Bucks winning 24-16 and leading 10-0 at halftime.
Exactly. I wrote that score 2 days ago.
All right. Well, let's hope it holds true.
If I match somebody else, that's great, but that's what I really thought it was 2 days ago.
Well, you did have the same as Mike, but you have different halftime scores. So if that ends up being the score, we'll be using the tiebreaker.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Don. Let's go to Anthony next. Hello, Anthony. You're on the home team.
Happy New Year, guys. We made it over the bridge and onto the firm ground. All I'm calling for is let's get the cold weather for Tuesday and Thursday, please. for the Lightning games. Make it feel like hockey. And one thing is, I get a kick out of people wearing boots in Tampa. I've never fathomed people wearing boots. There's only 4 groups of people that should be wearing boots, and primarily people up in the Northeast where it's really cold. As far as the Bucs, we beat Washington, yes, with a young, green Jaden Daniels. That could change because he's got some experience under his belt.
Sure.
As far as the score, I'm going to go 27-10 Tampa Bay, 7-3 at halftime, and let's give these guys let's give Baker Mayfield some kudos. The guy's been outstanding, man. I mean, more than what people actually thought that he was going to accomplish. He's gone above and beyond what people here thought he was going to in the NFL world too. So for all means, man, let's give this guy some credit, and let's give the Saints fans reason to break out the brown paper bag.
Yeah.
The eights.
I'll be curious. The Saints have always traveled very well to Tampa Bay. I'll be curious to see if there's many Saints fans there tomorrow.
There'll be a few there, but probably not as much as in past years.
Yeah. No, all right. Thank you so much, Anthony. Appreciate it.
Go Bucs, go Lightning.
Yeah, all right.
You got
Appreciate that.
Thanks, Anthony.
Steve on Facebook Live has the Bucs winning 31-10 and leading 18-3 at halftime. So that's how Steve on Facebook Live sees it going. We need to hit our final break, and then Jason and Matt and I will come back and tell you what we think will happen in tomorrow's Bucs New Orleans Saints game. More of the home team coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you suffered damage from either or both Hurricanes Helene or Milton and are in need of some new windows or a new door, FAS Windows and Doors is the place to turn. Locally owned and operated, they can get you the best possible products at the best possible price. Now, right now, they're offering a $100 rebate on all windows and a $200 rebate on all doors. Financing is available with no payments and no interest and no money down for 24 months. Just go to their website, faswd.com. That's faswd.com to schedule an appointment and check out their inventory. It pays to shop local and to go to a company that stands behind both their products and their service. Tell them you heard about them on the home team with Paul Porter, and they'll take special care of you. They're there when you need them. FAS Windows and Doors, faswd.com.
Get ready to blast off on the bay with Tampa's own Bay Rocket. It's a 50-minute adrenaline-pumping thrill ride aboard a 2,800 horsepower jet boat with thrilling 180-degree spins, turns, and dips. It also features a whimsical narration with party music before blast off. Put your hands up, Tampa Bay, and get ready to blast off. For information, visit BayRocketTampa.com or call 813-223-7999.
One of the questions I'm often asked is, how do you do it? With my busy schedule of working for the Lightning, Magic, Buccaneers, and the home team, I need to be in very good health. One person I have to thank for keeping me in good health for years is Dr. Troy Stirk of Stirk Family Medicine. He's helped me keep my blood pressure in check, my heart running smoothly, and an overall healthy feeling that is confirmed by my lab results. If you're looking for a good family physician, I heartily recommend Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine. You can reach his office at 813-264-7922. That's 813-264-7922. I'll tell you, Dr. Stirk is fantastic, and I'm sure you'll feel the same way if you become one of his patients. So now that you know my secret to staying healthy with a busy schedule, it's your turn. Call Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine, 813-264-7922. My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahi tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations suggested but not necessary.
Rinkside Sports is your headquarters for all things hockey. From skates to pads and gloves to jerseys to socks. Anything you need to make your hockey experience a winning one. You'll find all the same brands the pros use, like Bauer and CCM. Rinkside Sports has 2 locations to serve you, inside Advent Health Center Ice in Wesley Chapel and inside the TGH Sportsplex in Brandon. Rinkside Sports. If it's hockey, it's Rinkside Sports.
10 years ago, my wife and I started a nonprofit ministry to help victims of domestic violence called Reach Out, Speak Out. Would you consider a donation to help our ministry? If you'd like to join our auxiliary board or just be a friend to Reach Out, Speak Out by helping with your time, talents, or treasures whenever you're available, please contact us by visiting reachoutspeakout.org. Please send your donation to Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida 33677, 5013C number 47163. 0804. Happy 60th birthday, Cambridge Christian School. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning, here to tell you about the exciting growth happening here at CCS. Coming this fall is our state-of-the-art 45,000 square foot high school and STEM lab. For over 60 years, Cambridge Christian's award-winning academics, athletics, and the arts has been changing the way you think about Christian education. Visit us today at ccslancers.com.
The Florida State Fair is coming in February. But did you know the Florida State Fair is so much more than just a fairgrounds? Everything from hunting and fishing shows to trade shows and competitions to men's and women's conferences to concerts and so much more. Be sure and circle your calendars for February 6th through the 17th, 2025 for the 121st edition of the Florida State Fair at the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa. See you at the fair.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to our final segment. And as we posted on Facebook, want to thank everybody who's called in. And it's been a great show today. Lots of participation.
A lot of people.
17 people all told will be in the contest for the Bucks game. But also want to say a big tip of the cap to our sponsors. And when you hear all of these sponsors being played, please support them. Go out and if you don't use their business or service, at least drop them a line and say, hey, we appreciate you supporting the home team because they are the ones that make it possible. And Alessi Bakery is one of those. You give us gift certificates that we give away and get people into your store. So that's how the home team works. Mm-hmm. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Many have been with us for years upon years. In fact, no one got it, but it was 1996 that the home team started. That was the first year with the home team. And our first ever sponsor, you remember Bingo Bob with the Seminole Indian Casino, now the Hard Rock Casino, but it was the Seminole Indian Casino, and all it was bingo. That's all they played there at that time. And Bingo Bob was our first ever sponsor. We went to do the show together. We had breakfast together and got to the station, and the door was locked, and there was no one there. So the producer didn't show up. Yeah, very ominous start. But the next week it was straightened out, and he stayed on as the first ever sponsor of the home team. Well, it's our turn now to pick our scores for tomorrow. Matt, we will start with you. What do you have for the game?
Well, I'm keeping the trend going. The Bucks win the division. 34-20 is the final over New Orleans. And I'm going to go 21-10 Bucks at the half.
All right. Wouldn't it be ironic? I'm not saying that it'll happen, and I actually hope it doesn't. But if both the Bucks and Falcons lose tomorrow,
Bucks don't win the division.
Yeah, talk about backing into a division.
Yeah,
championship.
you don't want that. I mean, we'll take it however we get it, but that would be not very good.
I think it's feasible for the Panthers to beat the Falcons.
That
tomorrow.
I could see, because Carolina has been playing better as of late.
Yeah. What do you have for the score, Jason?
All right, I'm going to go with the Bucks to win 35-17, and I'll say they'll be up at halftime, 21-7.
All right. Matt and I actually have the same score for halftime. I have a 21-10 Bucks at halftime, but I have them winning the game 31-10.
Okay.
Bucks get 10 unanswered points in the second half and go on to be the NFC South champions for the fourth consecutive year.
That's something.
So, tip
And
of the cap to them.
Playoff teams for the fifth consecutive year, franchise record.
Yeah. And someone on Facebook Live said that Bingo Bob's son, Chris, still listens to the home team
Wonderful.
from time to time. So we've developed that over, 27 years, 28 years now. Hey, we will talk to you again next Saturday at 9 o'clock here on the home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.